All right, Dylan, almost one full week of camp in. You're protecting a new guy back there. What's the difference that you've seen so far between Jack and Caleb Ellerby?
Um, I think they're very similar. Both very talented. Jack has more speed in him and everything like that. Um, I'm just excited to see him go. He finally has the opportunity to show him what he really has, and that's a big thing.
He's a Pittsburgh area guy, and you go back to last year, you guys are all taking the field. Caleb's stuck in the locker room, and Jack's got to go out there and run some plays. What was going through your head when, you saw Jack come off the sideline?
Next man up. That's what it is. I mean, I believe in everyone we got on our team. We know what we're supposed to do. I mean, we practice every day. We know what to do. We go through the schemes and everything. And, I mean, when Jack was in there, the offense didn't skip a beat. So it just speaks to him.
Moved from guard to tackle this offseason. Talk about some of the challenges or just kind of some of the new skills that you've kind of developed, in making that move.
I will say on the outside, it's more of a finesse game. A lot more hand work, hand swipes and everything. Defensive ends tend to be pretty more athletic than the interior guys. I would just say it's more, you got to get out of your stance way faster. You got to get in the interception. You got to use your hands on the outside. On the inside, it's more of a brawl. Whoever gets their hands on first usually wins, and that's where you see a lot of the stockier guys and stuff like that.
You've been able to see a lot of guys from the offensive line go on to have success in the NFL, and a big reason for that has to be Bill Kenny. What is it like being coached by him?
He's a very honest guy. He coaches very hard, and there's never a dull moment in our meeting room. He loves us all like his own kids, and it's just, you see it every day. I mean, he's an old man. He's out here. I mean, he could be retired, but he's doing what he loves. So it speaks to him too.
Talk about day one, if you would. Sorry, Pat. Day 6, but first day in the full pads and the helmets.
Well, it doesn't change much for the O-line, D-line. I mean, we bash heads every day, whether it's full pads or just shells. But it was good to see the running backs being tackled and breaking tackles and everything like that. It gets our defense ready and just simulates live game.
A couple guys battling for the starting guard spots. Just talk about what the position battle there and who's kind of impressed you, playing next to them.
Trevor Campbell, Addison West are the two guys that come to mind when you say guard. I mean, they both play right and left guard, so they're not battling against each other. But I will say the two group we have, they're right behind them. It's just, if you don't perform, then they get the shot, and if they perform, then you're with the twos. So I would just say I'm impressed because Addison West has turned it up a gear. Coach Kenny says he's the most athletic offensive lineman we got, even though I kind of disagree with that. But yeah, he's out there running. Trevor's extremely strong, very strong guy. And then the whole two group is impressive. They're just working hard, trying to get better day by day. They know what they have to do to beat out the ones, and they're trying to do it.
Is it different? A couple years, D's obviously the main guy, and last year it's Sky, and you have so many talented receivers. Now you're the guy. How's that feel, heading into camp?
It feels good. I still keep in contact with those guys, D, Sky. So just picking their brain. They're in the next level now. So they just give me tips on like how to lead and how to just take control. So just whenever I'm going through something, I just lean on the talks that I had with those guys, and everything comes together.
What are your differences you've seen so far between Caleb last year and Jack this year?
It's a lot of differences. Jack's a bit more of a runner, in my opinion, but he can also like get it out there. I know Kay had a little bit of a stronger arm, but Jack, his accuracy is also like on target. So I like Jack.
Coach Lester talked about the speed that you added last offseason, and it helped you put together a great 2021 season. What have you really been honing in on to kind of improve and take that next step this year?
Just my aggression, like the attack at the ball, everything. Like when the ball is up in the air, it should be 100 balls. Like it shouldn't be no DB balls, or it's my balls or no balls. Nobody.
Bit of a new offense you got to learn as well. How's that been going with Coach Thorne?
Yeah, the offense been good. I picked it up very quick. I ain't gonna lie, it did take a few a few weeks, but after that, everything was pretty smooth. We still got some old stuff from last year, some new stuff, but it's basically easy.
Heading into this season, you're the only wide receiver with a catch in this offense, at least at Western Michigan. Talk about some of the guys who are kind of battling to, find a role as pass catchers in this offense, and what you like about them.
Well, first, Sambucci, that's my guy. I seen from last year to this year, I seen so much growth in him, like just attacking the ball, just the routes, and 88 number Hintz. I'm talking about number Hintz. I like him. He's a big target. Like I feel like we can use him a lot in the red zone. And Kavion Mack, I like him a lot as well.
Coach, first day in full pads, what did you see?
That was good. Physical. We've been hitting pretty good. Really the only difference is going to the ground. Trying our best to be physical and take care of one another. And thought the defense flew around. Offensively, I think we did some good things. And I think it was a good back and forth day, kind of what I expected. We introduced a little bit of tight red zone today, which was fun. Defensively, we have some new stuff we put in down there. Offensively, not so much. So, offense got a little better of them, I think, in the tight red for day one. But third down, fourth down situations, I thought we did a good job. But we got a lot to clean up. I mean, we had to call timeout a couple times because of personnel issues, and these are things that we need to get fixed to be as good as we want to be.
Tell me about Austin Hentz. I just saw him flash a few plays, and I thought, we're even hiding that kid. And I looked up his bio and everything. Yeah. Just tell me a little bit about him.
Well, we found out about Austin from his dad, Jamie Hentz, who's a Hall of Famer here in our Hall of Fame. And he's at a D2 school, transferred in last year, and had an unbelievable spring. That would have been spring of 21. And unfortunately, last spring practice of 21, he had an injury that held him out all year. Weren't sure if he was going to come back because this will be his 7th year of football, and he decided to come back, and we're excited to have him. And definitely brings a Geo type. For those that remember when we had Geo, he's a matchup nightmare. He's big enough, he's physical enough to block, but he's hard to cover. He's a hard cover for a linebacker. So it's fun to have him. I wish we'd had him last year, but unfortunately an injury held him out from that. But he looks really good. His body looks good. He's running well, and it does change your offense. There's a lot you can do when you have a tight end like that.
It looked like Corey got dinged up a little bit, but ended up kind of walking around the sideline there. What's the early report on that?
Yeah, he wasn't even high. He could. Did he go back in?
Don't think so.
Okay, he could have. I remember I told one of my assistants, like, he doesn't need to go back in. He only had 2 plays left anyway. He's had a great camp. Looks good. He'll be here. We're off tomorrow. They need an off day. We've gone 6 days in a row on purpose. I really challenged the guys. I wanted their legs to be tired. I wanted it to be a physically draining last 2 days, and it was. And they responded well. And now their legs are going to start. We'll start getting their legs back here in the next 10 days, and we'll get them flying around again here when we get closer to Michigan State.
Any other guys gotten dinged up since?
We had 2 more ankles today that they all came back in. I think Boone did one. I think Tyson did one. But for our first physical, take him to the ground. We've been very fortunate thus far. Our trainers have done a great job. The players have done a great job.
What can you learn about your team during the first full day of full padded practice that maybe you didn't get the sense of, in the first 5 days?
I think everything is just heightened, right? Like when it's live, it's the closest thing we have to, can they process information when the bullets are live, right? There's no blanks anymore, which is kind of what you're normally shooting. And so that'll be the biggest thing. We track MAs every day, and our MAs have been coming down every day. I'm really looking forward to sitting with the offense and defense here for the next couple hours and just seeing where we're able to make the checks with the motions. Did we get all our adjustments in, and who can handle the heat, And so that's, I think, the biggest thing you learn. We thud up, we hit every day. So there wasn't anything crazy physical that happened today. It's good for the running backs to go all the way to the ground. It's good for the receivers to go all the way to the ground. It's good for Sean Tyler to get tackled a little bit. Other than that, it's about can they maintain their discipline when the bullets are real, and I think they did a good job. We'll see on the film though.
Last year at fall camp, you mentioned Corey Crooms really taking his speed to another level over the summer. Yeah. Any guys who have made similar leaps this year?
Good question. I would the one guy that I think has really stood out this year more than any other year is Kenai Lovely on the defensive side. We've been trying since the moment he stepped foot on campus to get him to be 180 pounds. He's always been like 150, and then 155, and then 160, and then 168, and we got him over 175 now. I feel like he's flying around. He's had a pick every day. I don't know if the ball just finds him or what. Like he had his pick. The pick today was him again. I think we have like 5 picks, and he has all 5 or something like that. It's crazy. So I think he's really doing a good job. Damari Roberson's really flying around. He looks like he's finally healed and comfortable. We got him at Sam. Less space to deal with, but he's really flying around, hitting people. I've been proud of him. But those are the two that I think thus far. It's early. It's week 1. The other guy that shined, I mean, Trayson Bourget is for a freshman. The last 3 days has really come on mentally, processing information and doing some things that normally a guy in his first week of playing college quarterback doesn't happen, you know. So it's been fun to watch him. We got that. We have to continue that on for the next couple of weeks, but I've been proud of how he's come on in the last couple of days.
Has anyone started separating themselves at the wide receiver position opposite Corey Crooms?
Not really. I mean, I think Kavion Mack's done an unbelievable job. He's been working at his body since he's been here. Sambucci had a huge 4th down catch today. Jelani, Galloway has done a good job. Those guys. AJ Abbott's banged up. He had a groin like 3-4 days ago, so we're taking our time bringing him back. I really think those guys are all going to battle, and I think they're all going to play. You know, so hopefully it's clear who number 2 and 3 are of the 4 or 5 guys we're choosing between here in the next couple of weeks. But I love the competition.
Same thing for the 2 open guard spots.
We haven't done any flipping yet. We were through week 1 now, so we'll start tinkering. We've tinkered with the 2s a little bit, but the 1s have been playing well. Addison West has been playing really well at right guard. I've been very proud of his physicality. He's always been probably our most athletic offensive lineman. We've really challenged him to be physical and play with good pad level, and he has done that this week. And then Trevor Campbell's played really well at left guard. So that first line's done a good job, and the 2s, we've moved some people around trying to get them ready to compete, but I don't feel like the competition there has really taken off yet, but I think it will here in the next week or 2.
You mentioned last week the new H receiver spot in this offense. Can you talk a little bit just generally about how this offense is going to look a little bit different than last year?
It's hard to explain. It's like rotating personnel, right? So like everyone's going to play H. I mean, we ran this exact same system with Greg Jennings and Tony Scheffler. It's the exact same system. Jeff actually took it from me in 2005. Has been using it for 15 years and just brought it back. So it's more recycled than new. But it gives us maximum flexibility, and the players really need to know every position. It's a little bit more like an NFL-style system where you need to know every spot, and that's hard with a new system and a new formation tree, and so we had to use some timeouts today, which was really frustrating for me, and I got after the offense pretty good about it. We got to get to the point where we're better with those things, but there'll be so many people playing that H spot, but the flexibility in putting bodies places, the flexibility to get into some more tight sets and bunch sets and switch our alignments is a little bit easier in this offense or this formation tree. So hopefully that'll allow us, especially in the red zone and the times you want to get tight and loose and wide and bunch, and you'll see a little bit more of that this year than you have in the past.
I believe last year you had different play callers depending on where you were in the field, whether it was red zone or in between the 20s. Is everything going to be on Jeff's plate this year?
Jeff's calling it. Yeah, he's called games for 20 some years. So he's done it and does a great job with it and understands it, and so he'll be the one. He's in charge.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.